A girl sent me an email and she was like, I just want you to know that I'm alive right now because of you. She was gonna commit suicide and she said, I wanted to look pretty when people found my body. I never thought when I started YouTube that that would ever be an email that I would get. I'm Kandee Johnson and today I'm unfiltered. I could tell you who I am in just 5 words. Happy, colorful, nice, positive, eclectic. That's a hard one. What is my signature style? I feel like it's probably like a little vintage with a hint of edgy. I don't know if I would say gangster, or then it's like straight up girly. So I guess I'm like all over the place. I was born in LA, and then we moved to Nevada, like in a very rural area when I was about 9. So that was like a big culture kind of shock. And then I was homeschooled, so my mom really fostered our creativity, our independence, our unique style. I didn't really have anybody making fun of me, so I could dress however I want, do whatever I wanted. And then when I went back to high school, I realized I hated high school. I didn't understand like why were these girls teasing me? Like, why were they making fun of my outfits? I thought they dressed boring, so I wasn't making fun of their boring outfits, you know? I've always loved makeup. I would be in my bedroom like mixing together little like Bonnie Bell chapstick. I'd be chopping them up and putting them in little vitamin containers, and like my mom gave me this like Elizabeth Arden like grandma brand makeup, like one of those big Christmas sets, and I would just like scrape different eyeshadows and I'd like mix different colors, and I was like a little mad scientist in my bedroom. Well, I always loved makeup, and I would do makeovers on my mom all the time when I was young, and my sister. Like, I was probably like 12, so you're kind of like out of the stage of playing with Barbies, but I would bribe my sister. I'd be like, if you will let me do a makeover on you, I'll play Barbies with you for 10 minutes. And so like, she'd be like, oh, okay. So there's all these videos of my poor little sister, like with her bangs teased all crazy and like crazy blush and blue eyeshadow, and she's like not happy, like on my bed, just like posing for me. And my mom was so nice. Like my mom would like, let me do her hair and let me do her makeup. So I love that. And then I think my grandma had given me a Kevin Aquan book, and I was like, oh, look at this man is amazing. And I loved seeing the power of transformation, what it could do. And then fast forward to beauty school, I realized I would do people's makeup, and you got to see a transformation. You would see whether it was a tough girl that stole my wallet last week, and I would do her makeup, and now she thought I was her best friend, or the first time I did a girl's makeup and she was like, wow, I don't think I've ever seen my face this way before. And feeling of what the makeup did is what I loved. I loved the inner transformation more than the external. And I always say that makeup is the key that unlocks your inner self-confidence to come out. I was a makeup artist. I was in LA. I was a single mom, so it was hard doing that. And my mom was like, why don't you come home to Nevada, you can, save up a lot more money, and then when you go back, you won't have to worry about, stressing out about childcare and all kinds of stuff like that. So I was like, I guess, but it was really hard because my career was just taking off. I was getting stuff with TV regularly, and then I pretty much put my things in storage in LA, cried all the way home to Nevada. But in hindsight, it really was one of those kind of slingshot moments where you're being pulled backwards and you think you're going the wrong direction, but it really is to launch you farther. You just can't see that at the time. And so I was just like depressed. I was like, my career is over.
You can't have a makeup review without some swatches. So, yes, Violet.
One of my friends there showed me a girl, Lauren Luke, Panacea 81, doing tutorials on YouTube, and I'd never seen that. I saw like, that's where you saw cat's water skiing. You didn't go to YouTube to watch things, And I was like, oh my gosh, this is my chance. I can do it, and I have real talent and knowledge. And it became such a blessing that people were interacting.
But this is gonna be the brush cleaning you're gonna do maybe once a week when your brushes look really dirty like this.
Oh yeah, my first video, it was me teaching how to clean your makeup brushes. I had a cold, it's super blurry. You never see my face. Like my face is never shown in the first video. I'm just like real grainy, real blurry. You hear like the camera squeaking. It was really awesome. There's been a lot of drama on YouTube that didn't used to be there at all. Like, I feel like it used to be such a happy place. Now that there's more drama, I mean, whether it's in YouTube or in life, I feel like you should always fly like above it. If there's crows fighting over something on the ground, always be the eagle that's soaring above all alone. So I was like, I'm gonna be that eagle. I'm gonna be fighting over some bird crumbs on the ground. I don't wanna know what the birds are fighting about. I'm just sailing to new places. Hi guys, it's Kandee. And Gwen, look who I'm here with. When I got to work with Gwen Stefani, I think I was like, that was the most nervous I have been. I can't be normal.
This is my friend, also known as Kim Kardashian, as Princess.
And then Kim, definitely, I was nervous. Her skin is like abnormally perfect. I was just like, where are your pores? There was so many like heart attack moments in that video that no one saw. I think the biggest piece of advice I actually got was from Kris Jenner, and she told me that she always tells her kids it was like about bullying because they deal with so much hate, you know? And she was like, I just tell my kids to post and then don't go back and look at it, you know? And I was like, that's good advice because the internet is such a terrible place, you know? And for Kim being inspirational, her work ethic and how polite she is with the crew, like she was so kind and polite to everybody. I've seen people who are have a fraction of her fame and treat people like garbage.
This is the actual record longest amount of time I have gone without uploading a video to YouTube.
I took a break after my dad died, but that was not as long as the one I took last year. So many things were falling apart. Every motivation I had was just gone, and you can't give when your heart is depleted. I ended a relationship I had been in for years, and then I had the Kim Kardashian thing, so that looked like a big highlight, and it was like, oh, it's so amazing, it's so great, and I was just like, I'm not eating because I'm sad and all these things, and then after my grandpa passed away, then it was just like, oh, then we knew my grandma, you know, she got hurt. It doesn't matter how old they are, just like seeing somebody that you love so much just fading away in front of you. You know, it'd be 4 or 5 in the morning, I'd just be holding her hand and playing music she liked. And then my grandma ended up dying like shortly, like a day and a half after my birthday. It was just so much. I feel like I grew up maybe like at hyper speed. You know, I got married when I was 18. Or 17, and then I had my son when I was 18. My son really was my motivation to keep going a lot of times when I didn't feel like going on anymore, you know, and there's been so many times where he's encouraged me, you know, just reminding me like, Mom, this is what you've done. Like, you did this. You didn't have like a husband or a guy or something that people think you need in your health. Like, you did this by yourself. It just makes me so incredibly honored to know that my son is proud of me. It's up there with like the best feelings in the world. Greatest compliment I've ever been given? I mean, I always like the ones that are like, you're funny, or like, I mean, definitely people saying you saved my life. I mean, I don't know what compliment could be greater than knowing someone's still here because of something you said.
Tell yourself that you are loved and you are precious and you are worthy and you are strong.
It's crazy because when I started doing YouTube videos, always for me, it's not about the makeup. I wanted to make somebody feel better or feel loved.
You are more beautiful than you know. You're more talented than you think. And you are more loved than you can possibly imagine.
I just put that at the end of my videos as like a closer, and a girl sent me an email and she was like, I just want you to know that I'm alive right now because of you. And she said, it just gives me like goosebumps every time I tell this story. She was gonna commit suicide, and she said, I wanted to look pretty when people found my body. And I never could tell this story without crying. And so she said, so I Googled how to look pretty, just in the Google search bar, and she said, your video was the first video that came up on top, and I watched it. And she said, I found out that 8 hours later, I was still watching your videos, and I watched your videos on how to survive this and how you've been through that and how all these things. And she said, you gave me the hope and strength to know that if you could make it, I could too. And she said, I just want you to know that was 8 hours ago, and I'm still alive, and it's because of you. And there's like no words you can put on that. You know, I never thought when I started YouTube that would be don't wipe tears away with fuzzy things, because you get like fuzzy things in your eyes. But I never thought when I started YouTube that that would ever be an email that I would get. And I've gotten so many more like that. Moms coming up and saying that girl that you just hugged is alive because of you. And that right there, I don't even care if there's any more accolades or anything I achieved, that some human being is still here because of something that you said that you had no idea was going to have an effect. That's like the greatest treasure to my heart. And my dad always told me something. He said, never say you have problems because you can't overcome problems. Always say you have challenges because challenges can be overcome. So every time things start coming my way, I'm like, not a problem, I'm a challenge. I can conquer things, I can get over things. My job is getting over things. I can do this. It makes you stronger, and you embrace that and know that every difficult thing is going to make you more successful. Everything that goes wrong is making your success story that much better. So when things go wrong, like, boom, another level to the success story. This is gonna be a good one when we get to the end.
3, 2, and...
Yay! Thanks, you guys. That was so fun and easy.